Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Journey to Athletic Perfection. I'm Christina.
I'm Sam.
And today we're going to show you how to make this delicious and nutritious meal of ground turkey, roasted potatoes, and steamed zucchini and squash.
Now the reason we chose this one for today is because it's really easy to make, really healthy, and you can put this for lunch or dinner and everyone will enjoy it.
And not to mention, it's really delicious.
Okay, so for your ingredients for today is you're going to need some virgin olive oil, salt, adobo, oregano, basil, thyme, my favorite, chopped garlic, and to add that little flavor, sazongoya. Also you're going to need your pound of lean ground turkey, chef's knife, and a prep bowl.
And over here, we have zucchini, yellow squash, red potatoes, chives, and cilantro.
Alright, let's get on with the cooking.
So before you start cooking, you're going to want to preheat your oven to 400 degrees to get ready for the potatoes. And now we're going to start chopping our squash and our zucchini. I love using zucchini and squash because it's so easy to make and it's so healthy for you. You don't even need to use any salt or butter when you're cooking it. Just steaming it with water gives you a really juicy vegetable with a buttery taste. I like to cut it into sort of thick slices just because of the high water content. You don't want it to come out too squishy. Now because it only takes about 5 minutes to cook, you're going to want to put this to the side and leave it for last. Now we're going to start preparing the potatoes. The first thing that we're going to do is that we're going to take about a capful of olive oil and drizzle it all over the potatoes. I like to use my hands to just get in there and make sure that all the potatoes are evenly coated with olive oil because that's what's going to hold all the seasonings together. Next, we're going to take about a spoonful of garlic, pretty good, decent sized spoonful. Be careful not to use too much because garlic is very strong and you don't want to overpower your whole flavor with garlic. Next, we're going to use some thyme, some basil, some oregano, some adobo, and some salt. And once again, we're going to mix everything all together, make sure the potatoes are evenly coated and that everyone gets a nice flavorful bite. And we're going to add our fresh chives and cilantro. I always love using cilantro because it reminds me of my grandfather. He always put cilantro in everything. Maybe a little more chives. And then I think we're all set. And now we're just going to lay the potatoes evenly on the baking pan. They already have oil on it, so you don't need to grease it. And we're also really using fat sparingly, which is good because it keeps this meal healthy. This is already starting to smell really good. Now I'm just going to pop it in the oven, which should already be preheated to 400 degrees. And I'm going to set the timer for about 40 minutes. This is just my estimate. I would just keep an eye on it while you're cooking, just to make sure that they're coming out. And if they need more time, if they don't look crispy enough, then add a few more minutes.
Okay guys, so while Christina's delicious potatoes are cooking in the oven, this is our time to prepare and cook our turkey. So as you can see right here, we have that pound of the lean ground turkey. And we're going to start off by grabbing the salt. I like measuring just a punchful right here in my hand. Just about that much. Again, we don't want to go overload since this is a healthy meal. And I just toss that right in there, my right finger, and I'll shake it right on up. And then with the rest, I'll toss it right over. There we go. Now I'll grab my adobo. This you can just sprinkle on from the container. And now that that's on, we'll grab our basil. This I do in my hand. Don't want to grab too much. Shake it in with your right hand. Get the flavors all over. Toss in the remaining bunch. Grab a little bit of thyme. Just right there, you can sprinkle that one from the bottle. Go in there with two hands, get everything inside. Get those flavors spreading. And now my favorite, as I said before, is the chopped garlic. Here I grab a teaspoonful and I will just get that rubbed in all over because the flavor is so strong, like Christina said before, except though it brings out everything together. Once you take a bite of this, you feel like you are in heaven. And you know what? I'm gonna grab just another half teaspoonful for good measure. There we go. And let's grab our sazon Goya. We're gonna use just half a packet for this because we don't want to use the entire thing. Sprinkle that right on top, get it shaken. And there we go, that's enough of that. Really get everything mixed in. Now for our greens, we have our chives. Grab a handful there, just toss that right in. And our cilantro. Another handful to do it. Oh, this is looking so good. I cannot wait to eat this. Oh, that smells delicious already, and we haven't even started cooking. Okay, this looks just about ready to go. Let's go throw this on, saute it a bit, and get to eating as soon as possible. Alright. Okay guys, now for the actual cooking part of this turkey. We're going to just first set our heat to medium right there. Let this pan heat up a little bit. And then let's grab our olive oil we were talking about earlier. We're just going to put some, not too much. So you guys can see that should be about good. And then you just want to get it all over the pan there. Okay. Set that right back on. Now we're just going to grab our turkey that we just prepared. Just grab the handfuls, it's okay, put it in with your hand and get it all inside that pan. Okay. Now I love using lean ground turkey because it is so versatile. I use it in so many of my meals. When me and Christina cook, it is a staple in our household. And so that's why we just love making it so much. Okay, now that's on there. I like using a spatula. You guys can use whatever you'd like to gets the job done. Just get right into that turkey and start pretty much chopping it up a bit as it cooks, because you don't want it to get all sticky and come into large pieces. You want it as bite-sized as possible. So I just get right in there. It's gonna be a little sticky and mushy in the beginning since it's still raw. That's okay. The more this cooks, the easier it'll be. But this just gets that ball rolling, and as you can see, it's already starting to take shape. Now this should take about max 15 minutes to cook, around that range. And you're gonna see that the turkey's gonna turn a nice brown color all around, and you're just gonna start tossing this right on over. See, there we go. And that way you can get to all the sides of the turkey. You don't want anything raw in this while you're making it. There we go. Get into all of it right there. And like I said, about 5 minutes in, you'll notice that nice brown color. That's what we're aiming for, but everywhere on the turkey. Just keep tossing it around. You'll get the hang of it. And by the time those potatoes are done, this should be done too. And that way we can have that delicious meal that I've been waiting for. Alright, perfect. Perfect. I will see you guys then.
Now we're coming back to those vegetables. And right here I just put them in your basic like saucepan or frying pan. And I'm just going to add a little bit of water. Not too much, just a little bit. Make sure that when you turn it around you can see it at the bottom. I'm going to add a little bit more. Like I mentioned before, zucchini and squash have a high water content, and whenever you're cooking vegetables with high water content, you don't want to add too much water because that's when they get soggy. So I'm just going to cover it and put it to medium heat and then just let it sit there. It should take about 5 minutes, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little longer. Just keep on checking it, but like I said before, this is so simple, so easy. Just cover it, let it sit. 5 minutes, it should be all done.
Okay guys, remember that brown color I was talking about earlier? This is pretty much what you're looking for. You see that right there? All around, turkey is nice and brown, really good color to it. Oh, look at those vegetables, it's so good. Right now, this turkey is good to go. We're gonna take it off this pan, put it on a plate, take out Christina's potatoes, and we're gonna get ready for some eating. And I am definitely looking forward to that.
So now the moment that I've been waiting for is taking out these potatoes. They cooked for about 40 minutes, and as you can see, they're nice and crispy. I'm just gonna put them out here so they can cool for a little while we finish up the vegetables and start plating. And we'll finally be ready to eat. What are you eating? Don't you know that's not even real food? Try some of this instead. Your body will thank you.